leave the light on. Something in my closet's gonna get me, but I ain't tough enough to make.
Welcome to This Side of the Fence. I'm JC Wilkinson. I'm the host for this show. We are here at the Pound. We have a wonderful guest today, Mr. Freddie Upshaw. He's going to be singing some songs for us and chatting about what's going on with him, his music, his career, and stuff in the community. So to start the show off, we're going to get Freddie to sing Going to the River. So anytime you're ready.
Well, I'm going to the river, gonna jump overboard and drown. Well, I'm going to the river, gonna jump overboard and drown. 'Cause the girl I love, you know she's left this town. She was such a good woman and she did everything for me. She was such a good woman and she did everything for me. But I did her wrong, now I'm in misery. Well, I'm going to the river, gonna jump overboard and drown. Well, I'm going to the river, gonna jump overboard and drown. 'Cause the girl I love, you know she's left this town. If you see my mama, tell her not to cry for me. If you see my mama, tell her not to cry for me. 'Cause I'm tired of living in all this misery. There'll be 6 white horses and a coach coming after me. There'll be 6 white horses and a coach coming after me. Gonna take me away from all this misery. Well, I'm going to the river, gonna jump overboard and drown. Well, I'm going to the river, gonna jump overboard and drown. 'Cause the girl I love, you know she's left this town. Well, I'm going to the river. Well, I'm going to the river. Well, I'm going to the river. Yes, I'm going to the river. Well, I'm going to the river, gonna jump overboard and drown.
All right, thank you, Mr. Freddie Upshaw. We're going to give Freddie a second to come and sit down and get all set up and comfortable again. Just a quick note. This actual show, This Side of the Fence, is about, we sort of set it up so that we can showcase artists in Northwestern Ontario. The grass is always green on the other side of the fence, but you know what? It's pretty green on this side of the fence, and that was the whole concept for this show. So this is one of the artists here in Northwestern Ontario. Once again, welcome to the show, and very, very much grateful and thank you for coming.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, let's see, your music and your career. Like you are like an icon because you've been here for a while, and you've graced some stages and met some people that I would only dream about. I think I have posters of them on my wall. But yeah, so tell us about your career.
Well, it started many moons ago. I started off actually as a classical musician. I was studying classical, and I got into jazz, got involved in jazz and blues and that sort of thing. And along the way, met a lot of well-known jazz entertainers, Ed Bickert, Oscar Peterson. And I almost played with Oscar Peterson one time, but I wasn't quite fast enough or good enough. But anyhow, it was a great experience to even have that opportunity available to me. So along the way, I played with various bands. I led my own band for a while. One of my bands was called the Viceroys, and how that came about, we were a four-piece, kind of a, I guess, an R&B quartet.
Right.
And we were searching for a name. So our drummer, Richie, everyone smoked in those days, and he flipped a package of Viceroy cigarettes in the air, and he says, Viceroys. I said, that's our name. So we were called the Viceroys.
Okay.
So that's how we got our name. At any rate, we played a lot of the local bars. We played the Famous Door in Toronto and Grossman's. I think most people remember Grossman's from, it's still going, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I remember Grossman's. Probably 70% of our music was vocals because our drummer was a fantastic vocalist.
Right.
So we started Grossman's, and all of a sudden we were told we couldn't sing because the management didn't want to pay the Songwriters Guild, if you will, BMI and those sort of things. He didn't want to pay royalties.
Okay.
So they had to be all instrumental. So we had to arrange everything around and scramble, and it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we got through that, and then of course the audience was asking, "Well, how come you guys don't sing?"
Stop singing now.
Yes. So that was quite an adventure, but we got through that, and so that was a wonderful experience, really, even though it was a little trying.
Yes. Oh, I can imagine. I can't imagine having to rearrange all my stuff to take my vocals out. It'd be like panic. So you've been doing this for a while, and you've played all over. You played some of a lot of the clubs in Southern Ontario. What brought you up north?
Actually, my loving spouse did.
Okay.
She was originally from here.
Okay.
And she talked about going back because I talked about going into semi-retirement. And anyhow, that's how I got here. As a matter of fact, it'll be 5 years in October that I've been here, and where has the time gone? So that's why I'm in Thunder Bay.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see. Now, when you were playing in Southern Ontario, back in the day, that was a kind of gig where you could probably play like quite a few nights of the week and make a pretty decent living.
Oh,
I'm making the assumption here, okay?
Oh yes, they were the days.
Yeah.
I made a very good living. We played 6 nights a week.
Wow.
And in one stint, we even did an after-hours gigs after the bar gig.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was money to be made, and there was fun for all. Of course, the bar managers managed everything,
right.
Meaning they wanted to control your music, too. If you were playing a slow song, they say, play faster. We want our clientele to drink, and vice versa. And it was just, they just wanted to rule everything.
So nothing much has changed since then. Okay. That shout out to all the bar owners in the region who do support us and try to back off a little bit and let us actually do our actual thing here.
Let me state, if I may, one incident at a club called the Famous Door at the time. We played there, and the whole stint was based on if we could back up the singer.
Okay.
So we assumed that the singer was the sweetie of the bar manager.
Right.
And that's all he was interested in. If we could back up the singer, we had the job. Well, she billed herself as the last of the Red Hot Mamas, like I guess Sophie Tucker sort of thing.
Okay.
And we never had a rehearsal with her, which was kind of crazy. We started our set the first night, And then she was announced, and she came on the stage and gave us a list of what she wanted to do. She didn't know whether we could do her songs, and we didn't know we could do her songs. So that was absolutely insane. And the leader, Billy Clarkson, I mean, he was just pulling out his hair. And,
I bet.
But anyhow, he did know most of the songs, so we were able to kind of fake, if you will, that first set and get through it.
Yeah.
The singer, Brandy, actually loved it.
Okay.
So anyhow, to make a long story short, we got through the week and we got better as we went along. And she actually said we were the best band that ever backed her. So on the Saturday, the last night, she was having a party at her place. She invited us to her place, blah, 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 blah. And to make a longer story short, Brandy was not a female. Brandy was a female impersonator.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was quite young and kind of innocent at the time and didn't know that. And when I found that out, I was terrified. I didn't want to go to the party.
Okay. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'm going to have to remember that story. I'm going to have to repeat that one a little later on down the line as we continue the show. You're going to do another song for us. I believe this one called Jungle Partner. So we're gonna take a short break here, and we're gonna let you go get set up, and then we're gonna hear you jam your thing again.
Will do.
All right.
Down the road came a jungle partner. Boy, he was all day in misery. He was knocked out loaded as he wobbled all over the street, singing 6 months ain't no sentence, even 1 year ain't no time. Well, I just got out of prison from serving 5 to 29. When I had plenty of money, Lord, I had a friend in every town. Now I ain't got no more money, and my best friend just put me down. I done pawned my watch and pistol, Lord, I done upon my key and chain. Would have pawned my Gabriella, but the poor girl wouldn't sign her name. So give me water when I'm thirsty, or a mighty good drink when I'm dry. Give me green grass when I'm tired. Give me heaven when I die. Down the road came a jungle partner. Boy, it was a long day in misery. He was knocked out loaded. He was singing the song to me. He said, Mister, oh please, mister, can you help me please get something to eat? I'm so loaded, I can't walk no more. I'm gonna lay down right here in the street. Down the road came a jungle partner. Boy, it was all day in misery. He was knocked out loaded as he wobbled all over the street. down the road, down the road, down the road, down the road.
That was Mr. Freddie Upshaw singing Jungle Partner. We're going to give him a chance to come back and take a seat again and get comfortable here. The sound that he creates and just the talent that he has on guitar and in arranging and all that stuff. I mean, I sound like a gushing schoolboy, but however, I mean, I am a guitarist and I do sing and arrange my own songs and compose and stuff. But I mean, sometimes when I watch him play, I just think, holy cow, how did you fit all those chords inside of what you're doing? Maybe I have to sit him down and get him to rearrange some of my stuff. But anyway, he's back here. Now, you also do work in the community, and you have become I'd say a relatively well-known promoter. You started a concert series, I believe that was a couple of years ago. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes, well, I actually started at the Unitarian Hall. It's called the Blues and Roots Series. And we promoted people like Dave Jonason and Southern Comfort, Tracy Kay, and Brother John, and Manitoba Hal, and many others. Mm-hmm. And, of course, lots of locals, plus a lot of the university students. At the first couple of years, we had a great band, jazz band from the university.
Right.
And we used to have them in a couple of times a year.
Right.
And so it's all about not only having the established talent, but developing new talent as well.
Right. That's good. That's good that you're actually covering those bases as well, because there's a lot of incredibly talented artists here in the region, here in Thunder Bay as well. But there's also a lot of people who are sort of, I guess, on the cusp of, sort of breaking through. And it's nice to be able to give them a venue that they can come in and do their thing and just gain that experience so they can actually step up and get to the next level, which is really cool. Been there, done that. I think I'm still there. Not sure. Haven't figured it out yet. So who's up and coming in the concert series?
Well, we're going to start off with Dave Jonason.
Okay.
And then we'll have Tracy Kay, and then the fantastic Manitoba Hal. And if you haven't heard Manitoba Hal, he is a treat. You need to hear this man. He's a wonderful showman and just a fantastic entertainer. He'll be with us around mid-October.
About mid-October? Okay. Now, I had the actual absolute pleasure of opening for Mr. Manitoba Hal. Talk about gracing a stage and you're like way out of your league, but it's all good. I held my own for, I think, my 20 minutes or whatever. But yeah, he is an amazing performer. Now, you actually, apart from your own music, you have a band.
Yes. The band is called Gravel Road. And we do vocal harmonies. We specialize in vocal harmonies, group harmonies. And we do blues, some jazz, a little jazz, and some soft rock. And we like to mix it up a bit, and we strive to be a little different than your standard bar band, if you will. That's not a knock against the bar bands, but it's just we want to be a little different. Now, I didn't say better, I just said different.
Well, thank you for that distinction. I've actually heard you guys play several times, and I've watched the university crowd get up out of their chairs and dance and carry on and have a lot of fun. And I've watched the older crowd sing and tap their toes and get up there and clapping along with you as well. I believe one show you did at the Unitarian Hall, you were playing something and they wanted us to create a dance floor on the actual inside the church there. So that is a really, really big testament to the type of music that you have and the effect that you have on the crowd while you guys are performing and playing. Okay, let's see. You have another song that's coming up. We're not going to quite get to that yet, but there's also something else that's coming down the pipe we're just sort of taking off the edges and unwrapping it just a little bit, just sort of putting the word out there to let people know what's happening. Why don't you tell us about the new music association that's forming up here in Northwestern Ontario?
Yes. From Sault Ste. Marie to the Manitoba border, there really isn't an association an umbrella association to sort of gather a lot of members, new talents, and old talent too. So hopefully, this new association will cover that and embrace new talent as well as old talent and put them all under one umbrella so we can promote the wonderful talent we have, and we do in the North. Wonderful talent. And I can say that in all sincerity because I've heard so much talent, great talent in the North.
Yeah, that's great. Now, my understanding is it's the NWOMA, which is the Northwestern Ontario Music Association, and they're going to have their first board meeting. I believe it's on the 22nd of August.
Yes. And at that meeting, we'll be, getting down to policy and setting up boards and that sort of thing, and generally getting the show on the road.
Okay, good. Well, since we're going to continue moving this show forward, you're going to do one more song for us. I believe this one's called Ball and Chain.
Yes, this is one of my original tunes. And most people say, Ball and Chain, what is that about? Enslavement or what? And actually, it's kind of a love song. Well, you judge for yourself.
Okay. So we're going to let Freddie get ready and go sit up on stage and do his thing. And we're going to take a short break.
Gonna be a ball and chain, attach myself to you. I said a ball and chain, and attach myself to you. Gonna get to you, babe, no matter what you do. Well, you came into the room, looking sweet and fine. Yes, you came into that room, looking so sweet and fine. Gonna take you to my cellar, let you taste my wine. Gonna be a ball and chain, attach myself to you. Yes, a ball and chain, and attach myself to you. Gonna get to you, babe, no matter what you do. Welcome into my kitchen, I wanna cook for you. Come on into my kitchen, I wanna cook for you. Gonna make a little something that I call lover stew. Gonna be a ball and chain, and attach myself to you. Yes, a ball and chain, and attach myself to you. Gonna get to you, babe, no matter what you do. Well, I'm a hungry man, searching for a bite. I'm such a hungry man, and I'm searching for a bite. When I get to you, babe, gonna make everything alright. Gonna be a ball and chain, and attach myself to you. I set a ball and chain and attach myself to you. Gonna get to you, babe, no matter what you do. Gonna be a ball and chain, yes, a ball and chain. I set a ball and chain and attach myself to you.
With Ball and Chain. You are listening to This Side of the Fence here at the Pound. My name is J.C. Wilkinson. I am the host for this show. Just want to do a quick shout out to the college, Confederation College here in Thunder Bay, for just setting this program up and just allowing some of the alumni to come back and some of the other members of the community to come and do a show and showcase different things that are going on here. This particular show is about music and artists and what's happening there. So what is new that's happening with you?
Well, I'm pretty excited about this new venue, completely new for me. Dale Murray, who is twice a senior star here,
Yep.
contacted me some time ago and said, how about starting a gospel group? I said, a what group? He said, gospel. And I said, well, Dale, I don't really know. It's not my thing. And, and I'm not, couldn't be considered religious. He said, gospel's not about religion. It's about the great harmony in the songs. So I said, okay, I'll give it a try. I'll get a hold of J.C. Wilkinson.
Oh, that's me. Yeah.
And we'll give it a shot and see what happens. So lo and behold, we met at JC Studio, and we tried it, and it worked. We loved it. We loved it.
Yes, it did.
So, what happened? We did a couple of weeks later. We did a gig at a nursing home, which the name escapes me, and they loved it. And then a couple of weeks later, we actually did a paid gig at the Unitarian Hall for their Sunday service. And I want to tell you, they were applauding, they were yelling, and at the last song, they were up dancing.
Yes, and it was in the middle of a service.
Yes, in the middle of the service, which is never done. So they just absolutely love what we were doing, and that was sort of proof we should continue. So we are continuing, and we're having a lot of fun doing it, and we're going to start very soon to branch out and do more venues.
Awesome. Yes, actually, it's been an absolute pleasure. And once again, thank you for inviting me to participate. It's a little out of my wheelhouse, but, I'm learning a lot. And it's actually filtering into my own music, too. So that's awesome. Yeah. So I want to thank you for coming here and being a guest on the show today. I believe this is the second time we've actually had you here.
Yes.
So it's always an absolute pleasure to share information with you and to just listen to you sing and perform. I mean, it's absolutely classic. So we're going to sign off. This has been a wonderful another episode of This Side of the Fence here at the Pound. I am your host, J.C. Wilkinson, and hopefully we will have you back.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Take care.
I'ma leave the light on. Something in my closet's gonna get me, but I ain't tough enough to make it all go away.